Minimalish. How I accidentally decluttered my life and loved it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. Today's episode of Minimalish is all about stuff. The things we buy, hoard, toss, and eventually trip over. I am Sudha Madhuri Yagnamurthy, and today I am taking you on a personal journey. How a few donated books, a laundry room, and some serious eye-opening moments flipped my life upside down in the best possible way. I'm taking you through my journey from plastic party balloons to paper plates, from makeup dreams to the makeup-free glow, and from bursting closets to peaceful drawers. Let's talk about minimalism, sustainability, and how sometimes less really is so much more. If you have ever bought 5 organizers hoping to organize your other organizers, this episode is definitely for you. Laundry room wisdom. In 2018, I was on a maternity leave in Canada. It was winter. So basically, I have lived in a permanent state of wearing socks over socks. One day, while doing laundry in our apartment basement, I found a stack of National Geographic magazines left for donation. I took them. Because who says no to free Nat Geo? Spoiler alert, those glossy pages did more than just entertain me. They woke me up. I thought I was just picking up free reading material. Turns out, I picked up a lifetime supply of eco-guilt. I read about plastic, how much we use, how little we recycle, and how it's literally choking the planet. After that, I couldn't even open a plastic packet without hearing David Attenborough's sigh in disappointment. The party that wasn't trashy. So what did I do with all this newfound guilt? I took action. My younger daughter's first birthday was coming. Traditionally, this means balloons, plastic cutlery, and glitter decor. Instead, we had a zero plastic party. Decorations made from old jeans, reusable wooden plates, paper cups, and cloth banners. Over 100 people came. No trash bags, no clingy plastic wrap, just creativity, community, and compostables. From plastic to people, I became the anti-plastic preacher. I gave tips at birthday parties and even performed a Nukkad Natak. I casually slid eco-facts into dinner conversations. Did I become a bit too much? Maybe. Some friends nodded, smiled, and continued to use plastic plates. Some changed a bit, some changed the topic. But I realized you can't force change. You have to live it, share it gently, and let it grow. After all, inspiration is always better than imposition. Sparkle-free and proud. I also dipped my toe into makeup. Literally watched 15 tutorials to learn eyeliner, and then Nat Geo smacked me again. Turns out, mica, the shimmer in makeup, is often mined using child labor. Some of those children were close to my daughter's age. That was the end of my glow-up goals. So I embraced a makeup-free life, or as I call it, radiance by resistance. Now my glow-up is called sleep, hydration, and occasional coconut oil. Decluttering, the Canadian edition. When we decided to move back to India, we faced the great sorting. We had so much stuff. Cute muffin trays? I used once. Kitchen tools? I didn't even know the name of. Scarves that matched clothes I no longer owned. We ended up donating bags and bags. And when our home got lighter, my mind did too. Cleaning got easier. Organizing became possible. It felt like life breathed again. Decluttering is humbling. You find things and think, why did past me think it was a good idea? Minimalism in action. Minimalism tips. My tried and tested rules. The 3-day rule for shopping. Wait 3 days before buying something non-essential. 80% of the time, you'll forget it even existed. If you still want it, fine. If it shows up in your dreams, maybe it's destiny or just some marketing. The 1 in, 1 out rule. New kurta in, 1 old, 1 out. Unless you're planning to open a textile museum in your cupboard. Declutter by category, not room. Start with all your water bottles, then mugs, then scarves. You'll be shocked by the duplicates. Trust me, you don't need 17 mugs unless you're running a cafe you forgot about. Make it fun, not forced. Decluttering with kids? Make it a challenge. Who will donate 5 toys first? You'll be surprised. Repurpose, repurpose, repurpose. Old socks become dusters. Cracked plates are plant saucers. And then broken grater? Modern art. Be honest about your lifestyle. If those 5 lehengas haven't left the shelf since your cousin's 2019 wedding, ask yourself, are you storing memories or fabric? If Diwali diyas have turned into year-round paperweight, well, let there be light, not clutter. Make memories, not mess. Focus more on experiences than purchases. A picnic in the park trumps another board game you will never unbox. Don't force, just show. Inspire by example, not eco-guilt. Giving back. What started as cutting down plastic became something bigger, a conscious lifestyle. A decision to buy less, waste less, and give more. Whether it's donating items, ideas, or just being that friend who doesn't bring disposable cups to a potluck. Now, when I gift something to someone, they are more excited about the reusable wrapping than the actual gift. I once gave a mason jar as a return gift. My auntie said, "Beta, is this for pickles or philosophy?" I said both. So, here's the thing. Minimalism isn't about owning just 10 things and living in a white box. It's about clarity. It's about making space for joy, for peace, for purpose. And most importantly, for yourself. So next time, when your hands itch to add to cart, remember, you're not just buying things, you're buying clutter, cleaning time, and possibly a future guilt trip. Because in the end, we're all just trying to con-marry our lives and still have enough spoons left to eat ice cream. Some closing one-liner nuggets to scatter thought. Minimalism doesn't mean less happiness. It means more room for it. Decluttering your wardrobe might just declutter your brain. You don't need a bigger home. You need fewer things fighting for space. If your drawer needs a map to find socks, it's time. Your stuff should serve you, not stress you. That's all for now. This is your host signing off with a famous Marie Kondo's quote. Keep only those things that speak to your heart. Then take a plunge and discard all the rest.